Welcome back to Brew Biz Chats, where we sit down with inspiring Australian business owners to hear their stories behind their businesses, the challenges they've overcome, the challenges they've worked through, and the lessons they've learned along the way. Today, we're joining Michelle Brindle, co-founder of Young Wanderer, a beautiful Australian brand creating high contrast black and white products designed to support your baby's visual development and early sensory play. Super important when you're growing your human beings. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us. How's it
Oh,
going today?
yeah, good. Thank you for having me.
No, it's great to have you on board. So I just wanted to start. Tell us, what is Young Wanderer? Tell us what happened. Where'd this whole vision come from?
Okay, so it started around 3.5, 4 years ago when I was on maternity leave with my first child, Olivia, and first time mums, you're just doing all the research, you're trying to find all the things that you should be buying, all the safety ratings, everything that you want to do for your first child. Obviously, you want the best of everything. And when I was like trying to look for books and toys for her, high contrast kept coming up on the benefits of for babies. And when I went to go buy them, I couldn't find them much in the market. I ended up making some myself, and I ended up buying some from overseas. And that's sort of when it clicked when I was on maternity leave. I felt like I needed a project, but also I thought I feel like there's a gap in the market that when it comes to Australia, there just wasn't enough offering in the high contrast range. So that's when, yeah, I started Young Wanderer.
It's amazing how literally that's how the visions grow. So we're here to help going when you're on maternity leave, you find these little trinkets that go, hang on, this is really handy for me. How about they help someone else? And then your whole business flourishes from that.
Yes, yeah, and I was very fortunate. Yeah, I was looking for a little side hustle slash passion project. But I brought my twin sister on board because she is an amazing artist, and she started illustrating our products. And I also had a connection in China in the printing industry. So I was like, I've got someone to print something for me. I've got someone to illustrate it for me. So I was like, I'm going to make a book. So that was our first product.
Hmm. Fantastic. I love that concept, and you can bring it all in, especially when you got the contacts.
Yes.
Contacts are super important when it comes to business,
Yes.
and growing it. So I guess you've already kind of touched on it, but what makes your product different to what others might even be on the market, or what's not on the market? I should even come back to.
Yes, I mean, high contrast. I mean, it's been around for a long time, but I think there's just a lot of people don't know about it and know the benefits of it, especially new parents. So when babies are born, their vision is super blurry, super underdeveloped. They can see mostly in colors black, white, and gray. So, they have to learn to develop that ability to see color and also in a very blurry world when they can't see very much, anything that's high contrast and black and white, all of a sudden it's like a beacon. There's something that they can see, it's something they can focus on.
Hmm.
Really good for their vision development in particularly. But obviously, if they can see it, they can engage with it, and they love staring at it as well. So, any ways to engage them in sensory play and their books and their toys is going to aid in so many other benefits. So, you can encourage things like tummy time. Babies don't tend to like tummy time at the beginning. So, pop some black and white cards in front of them. They love staring at high contrast. So, you're going to encourage them to lift their head up, be in that tummy time position for longer. So, and using other elements of, crinkly materials and bells and other things that you can use to encourage sensory play and get them to engage with the world around them.
Wow, I mean, I didn't know anything about this when I had my children, and I still remember my firstborn. My husband sits there and goes, "You can tell they're in a developmental leap or something because he literally just focused on me." And
Oh,
it's like, oh, as you say, they can only see blurred up to a certain point. And yeah, that I understand that concept. I've just never heard about the whole black and white thing before. I would have always thought, because they always go for colorful things, is what I thought.
yeah.
But that's what's on the market, isn't it? Not necessarily what's science backed behind.
Exactly. Yeah. And color is still great. I'm not against color, but especially in those early months, high contrast is better.
Yeah, and I love that you've incorporated that of you've worked with other practitioners in the area, like your occupational therapists and child health nurses. So how have they had an input on, guess, on what the products you've created in your business?
Yeah. So, well, it started out with them being really great advocates for my brand. In the very early days, I just started getting, occupational therapists, physios, nurses, childhood educators, all these people sort of starting reaching out to me saying, "Oh my goodness, finally someone's making this." And then I started reaching out to them, and I've made a little community of people I work with, and they are actually part of my product development team now as well. So at the moment, I'm developing some new products, and for one of them, I've got about 8 different consultants working with me.
Wow.
So I'm an ideas person. I've got an idea. This is what I'm going to create. We create some samples and then we show them and we get feedback and then they give us tips and advice on, because as much as like we want our products to look good, the main thing for us is, are they going to be developmentally beneficial for babies? So getting that professional advice is so crucial. And then, yeah, and then they've become my biggest advocates, which has been, yeah, a game changer for us too.
That's amazing. It's not just you creating a product that you think will sell because it looks pretty. It's creating something that actually is there for a purpose
Yes,
and
correct.
has something backed behind it. So that's amazing. Um, I know you've expanded the business all throughout. So you've got your e-commerce, you've got wholesale, you've got your stores, you're in big brands. So I guess what did that journey look like? How did you
Yes, it's sort
go
of
through that journey?
yeah, it started. Yeah, I mean, did we just start off with my e-commerce store and then, just posting on social media? And then my first sort of big aha moment, this is a thing, is when I did my first baby expo. So baby expos are incredible for me. I do about 4 a year in Sydney. I'd love to do more, but it's it's a time crunch. But yeah, and that's sort of when people started approaching me. That's when um health professionals started approaching me. That's when stores started approaching me as well.
Mm.
So I got my first stores from doing a baby expo, and they said, "Hey, we've never seen anything like this. Would love to stock you in your store." And I thought, I was like, I never thought of doing that. So, yeah, it actually came to me of people coming and saying, "Hey, can we stock you in our store?" And people would message me on Instagram and say, "Hey, would love to." So all my first few stockists were just people who came to me. So that sort of built from there. And I said, "Okay, let's do this properly." Set up a system. I'm on Fair, which is incredible. And, stockists can find you, but I can also refer people to Fair for stockists. And then, so that's that. Baby bunting as well. I tried to get into baby bunting physical stores. I'm not there yet. But they said, look, we're not ready for you to put us in stores, but would love to be would love to have your products on our marketplace. So I'm currently on baby bunting online and we do a drop shipping method through them, which is fantastic. They are great for exposure. And then Amazon, I'm an Amazon customer. I love free delivery and I also love getting things quick. So I thought if I love that, I'm sure other people do. And Amazon's become, yeah, a great revenue driver for us as well.
Oh, I love Amazon, and it's the I'm like on the weekend, oh, I need this product. Well, why don't I just order it? Oh, look, it'll be here tonight. I mean, you know.
Incredible. I know it's revolutionized shopping and
Yeah.
it is the future. I think it's had a huge growth in Australia and it's got a lot more to go, I think. So I think yeah, if you're sell physical products and you're not on Amazon, you should jump on there.
Yeah, definitely. And you touched on the fact that you're at 4 baby expos a year, and there where your opportunities really came out. And I want to touch on that because a lot of businesses, when they start out, the visibility part is scary. They've got a product, but they don't necessarily know how to make themselves visible. And sometimes when you talk about baby expos or other types of business expos or whichever type of expos, people will go, oh, that's just, I'm not getting anything from it. But that's where the opportunities and collaboration can really bring the business and scale it. Because you've just mentioned, if you didn't attend those baby expos, well, how would you have an opportunity to be on Baby Bunting's websites for the marketplace or having those conversations with the health professionals? It's the visibility aspect.
Yes, and I also think it's a good test if you've got the right product. Like I think, you know, there are some people who come to baby expos and they might be selling, products for toddlers or above, and they just don't work. But it's a good validation whether your product is a good idea and if it's a good one. And you also hear all the feedback from the customers. The customers will come, touch, feel your product, and you hear firsthand their feedback. Like there's someone will say a small off comment about a product and I'm like, oh, I'm going to change that next run. So it's amazing to get that one-on-one feedback. But also you get out of it what you put in. If you put a little trestle table there and sit behind it the whole day and, don't have an offer, don't have a great looking stand, don't bring much stock, you're not going to get much out of it. You need to be out there, standing up, drawing people in, doing demonstrations, handing out
Energy.
flyers. You need to be super present and super prepared.
Yeah, I completely agree. If you're just gonna, you get what you get put into it and get out of it. And I want to say that's with any business as well. You could say, a lot of people might say this didn't work, but how much energy or appreciation did you put into it? Like, where were you? Were you standing behind the desk, sitting down and expecting people to come to you? Or are you out there making yourself visible? Like, it sounds like you would do exactly that when you're at those expos to draw the attention in. And I love that you can get that, as you said, the market feedback,
Yes,
the
100%.
product feedback.
It's as hard as an e-commerce owner because you don't, if you're in a physical retail store, you can interact with your customers all the time. But as e-com, you very rarely see them except for, they put reviews online or, they'll send a complaint email, so you don't hear from all those 95% of people who just don't hear from at all. So, yeah, actually being in the space. And you also get people saying, hey, do you have this? Do you have this? Every baby expo, I always get asked, do you sell flashcards? And I don't yet. So something's in
So
development.
that's the next product
Um,
that we're gonna.
exactly. It's just baby experts have given me product ideas because what are people asking for and what is missing from my collection?
Correct. Yeah. And then what are other people not selling yet? So what can you add and
Yeah.
come in there? So I guess when you started the idea, when you first had you're on maternity leave, did you expect it to grow to this?
I mean, it was always a dream, I guess. It was always like a side hustle, passion project. Like I think I wanted something else to do that was mine. And it was a side hustle for a couple of years as I was
Mhm.
working. But things really got serious about a year and a half ago, and I got made redundant from my full-time job. Um, on my second maternity leave, just before I was about to go back on my second maternity leave. And I got a good redundancy payout. And I thought, look, if there's ever going to be a time in my life to really throw myself into this business, this is the time. And it was always a dream of mine to make this my full-time job, but I think I just wouldn't have my full-time job was my safety net, and I don't know if I would have had the guts to really throw myself into this without seeing, a lot of sales and stuff or, anything before that. So, yeah, like honestly, getting made redundant was like the best thing that ever happened to me.
I've heard that from a lot of people, don't you worry. Like they've gone, being made redundant really got me to kick myself in the behind and just launch yourself.
Right, and you've
And
got to, yeah.
yeah, you've got to try something. And it's also got the time to go, hey, I can try this. Now's the time. And if all else fails, got a plan B. I can go back and find another position
Yeah.
somewhere else. But why not do it now?
Why not do it now? Exactly. And also my daughter started school this year, so it's building a life where I've got that flexibility. I can pick her up from school. I can go to parent teacher interviews and sports days or all the things that are additional when they start school. So it just gives me that flexibility to work when and then how hard I want.
Yeah, I completely agree. One of the reasons I started my own business is because I wanted to do school drop-offs, pickups, be there for the children, like, and be able to work around that time instead. I mean, as a parent, we want to see them grow. We want to
Yeah.
be there. But if you're working your 9 to 5 where you have to be in an office, then you're stuck and you miss those times. So
Yeah.
I love the flexibility that can offer.
Mhm.
I kind of guess that's one of the next questions is going, you are a working mum, you're running your business, really. So how do you juggle your kids and the business and, how do you find it all?
Yes, it's hard. There's lots of late nights in there. Um, but yeah, I mean, and also it's quite cool. My daughter is become quite interested in the business as well. Like she's like, can I help you pack orders or, sticker boxes? So I quite like involving her where I can. Or, I show her some of the videos that I make and stuff, and I keep her part of that. Because it's great to encourage her to be part of it, and also, it's a fun activity for her. It's a fun activity for her, but I want her to sort of, learn from this as well. So, you could do this as well one day. You could develop your own business if you want to. Like, it's a possibility. So, I think involving them when you can, and they come to the baby expos and go play in the baby sensory area, and they love it. So they're very exposed to it. But yeah, definitely when, the mornings are for them, between school and bedtime is just put everything down. I don't even look at my phone. I'm with them, I'm present. And then, try and do everything during school hours. And then obviously I do some nights as well. But I am so obsessed with this business that I can't wait to jump on my laptop. Okay, they've gone to bed. I can't wait to get on my laptop and do stuff. I'm so obsessed with it that it's my hobby, it's my passion. So it doesn't feel like work to me.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing is you do what you love, you won't be working a day in your life,
Exactly.
realistically. And look, I love that. My son, you don't realize how much of a role model we are for our kids. When they can see that you're building something and you're creating something, they want to be with you and they want to learn from you. I've found that so much in the last 12 months from my own children where they're just gone, my son wants to go, but teach me what you do. And he wants to get into the hard stuff. I'm like, well, how about you start with the admin first? He got a bit bored of that, but he's sitting there going, but why can't I do the other stuff, the harder stuff you do? I'm like, you need to learn, darling. But it's so great to see the inspiration that you can cause for them though, because they suddenly go, wow, I can do that. I can create my own business when I'm older instead of working for someone. There's more than one stream to go down. And it's amazing as a entrepreneur, we are showing our children that.
Yeah, no, it's
So
great.
I really, that's the amazing part of it. I guess on the flip side of that, has there been a moment, because a lot of us are starting business, when we talk to our clients, but if they're starting business out, they're going to second guess themselves. Has there ever been a moment where you've questioned, is it going to work out? Am I doing the right thing?
Every day. Like,
It's normal.
honestly, there's some days where I'm killing it. This is great, great sales day. And I get, I don't know, one bad review from a customer, and then I just melt. I'm like, is this all worth it? What have I done? So something as small as that can be so triggering. But then, the highs are so high. Something goes great, an event goes well, a, a post goes viral, or a celebrity posts about your product, just something like that, and then it's the highs as well. So I think it's always going to be up and down, up and down. But I think anything can happen. So it's just keeping your eye on your focus, on your goals, and then just trying not to defer, when it comes to any obstacles that come up.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing is really focusing on don't sit into the negatives too long and really focus on all the positives. Because as you said, one bad review can really bring down your whole day. Okay. But focus on the 100 good reviews you have because those are the main things that we can take away with our wins. And if we can focus on that, we can push through.
And that's what I do sometimes as well. If I'm having a bad day, I'm like, I'm just going to scroll through some good reviews because
Yeah.
we're very fortunate. We've got a lot of 5-star reviews, so it's like it's nice. And that's thing. One social media DM of someone, oh my gosh, I love your product. My baby is obsessed with this toy, and then I'm like, oh, that one comment just warms my heart. And then now I've perked right back up, and it's the best news ever.
I completely agree. When I've had a few of those and it's like, okay, I'm so glad you told me that because I just need to hear that today. I just needed to hear it. And some people don't realize that that little touch of kindness that people think sometimes you'll get it all the time, but you don't always get that appreciation all the time. And it's really good to hear that appreciation coming from your clients. So I'm glad that you do get that because it's great to read them at night sometimes and go, I just need a, I'm on the right path. Your product is making the right impact that it needs to make. And that's the main thing. So I guess what's up for the next 12 months with Young Wanderer? What's coming up? What have we got going
Um,
on?
Okay, so yeah, we've got our next baby expo is in Sydney on the 15th and 16th of August. So that the next one that's in a couple of weeks' time. So we'll have a special offer. We, have all our products on display. And it's also just a great space for parents to learn and find out about the brands. I'm also doing an event on the 19th of August. So this is a live event where I'm creating a baby sensory space, but the overall event is a fantastic discussion panel and talk for mums in Sydney. The headliner is Tanya Hennessy. I'm not sure if you know her, but she's a famous comedian.
Fantastic.
So she'll be there. So that's fantastic. And then you've got about 4 products in development. Hopefully, I can launch 3 before Christmas, but we'll see how we go. So we've got lots of new products coming out as well.
Oh, that's exciting. So the range is expanding, the baby exercise, and you're going to come and visit some other states, or you're going to try to expand out of Sydney?
Yes, I do want to. I'm potentially looking at Melbourne and Brisbane when it comes to baby expos, as well as just expanding our reach when it comes to stocks as well. We're about 25 stockers, I think, at the moment. So let's get that to 100.
Yeah, no, let's get there. We can start moving it forward. Definitely. I mean, Melbourne's a great town to visit. Definitely want to come down to Melbourne when you can. Just maybe wear a jacket if it's during winter. It's a bit cold at the moment. Um, I guess walking back to, we've probably spoken about this already a lot, but your biggest takeaway that since running your business, what is your biggest takeaway for encouraging mums to just go for it? Like, if you had to say you were sitting there and they've got talking to a mum that said, I've got this idea, what would you say to them?
I think you definitely go for it. I think there's a way that you can validate your idea, so um, you know, talk to all the other mums around you, go to mothers groups, talk to if it, for like me, talking to experts or talking to health professionals or depending whatever you're looking at, trying to find an expert in the area and talk to your potential customers as well. Is there a need for that? But definitely, creating a product, sampling a product, it is within reach. So, and there's also, so it's so much easier to create a brand now because we've got AI, we've got Shopify, we've got all these amazing tools, and there's a lot of free information on YouTube as well. So there's so many online courses and advice. So I think, educate yourself, validate your idea. You can do it, and just throw yourself in it.
Yeah, definitely. And it's really, you've said it, especially when you've got a product that you're selling, validating that idea and not just thinking, oh, it sounds good, like a good idea. Does anyone even need it? It's just sample and see what the market needs generally. Um, but that is fantastic. Is there, looking back, is there obviously one piece of advice that you wish someone had given you when you first started business?
Um, oh, yes, I think I wish I started meta ads a lot earlier.
Yep.
So I only really probably started advertising October last year. And I wish I did that, maybe not straight away, but as soon as I started doing a lot of social media content, that's content you can use for ads. And I think, that's really what drives e-commerce nowadays. It's
Mm,
advertising. As much as organic social media posts and stuff is fantastic and building a community and stuff to make sales, advertising is truly a game changer. So I wish I started that a lot earlier.
yeah. And having the right metric, like watching those metrics as it comes, but you can scale a business really quickly with the meta ads as well. So
And is AI just helping you just get your best friend Claude or ChatGPT or someone to help you?
yeah, make sure you've got the check with your AIs can do it, or get an advisor in, someone that can make sure those metrics are being looked at. Because I know how easy it is to lose money on meta ads, but having the right, but meta ads can really scale your business
It
with
can.
the
And
right
I'll also
metrics.
throw another one in there as well as educating yourself. So yes, there's lots of free things on YouTube, but yeah, I had a mentor about a year and a half, and that was fantastic. I've done quite a few online courses as well. So there's just I think if you don't know if you don't know what you're doing, learn it.
Yes, definitely. And that's something that you talked about, you got made redundant and obviously that threw you into what you're doing. But if some people are out there that have a vision and have an idea, but you're working full time, find the time in the evening. Find the time traveling to work and back. Like there's times when you people will say they don't have time because they're working full time. But I mean, us mums or parents generally, we find time to do a lot of things that there's a lot of time in the day. We can double up what we can. I remember before I launched my business, I was, catching the train into the office and I would be listening to a podcast, listening to a webinar, educating myself on X, Y, Z. As a business owner, we need to know marketing. We need to know, I don't need to just know tax and need to know the foundations. I need to know all the business owner things that we need to know in the background. So you can find pockets of time to then educate yourself first before jumping out into the on your own. And I think education is a huge thing to do.
Yeah,
It's a
definitely. You need to
big one.
invest in yourself.
Yes, invest in yourself and it'll just pay back so much more. So I guess completely unrelated. What's your favorite coffee order?
Skim latte.
Ah, yes.
I
Who's
never
that?
drank coffee until I had my second child. Never ever drank coffee in my life. And then I said my second child, I'm like, okay, maybe now's a good time to start.
You need that caffeine hit sometimes to get through the day. And as a business owner, look, I mean, our name is Tax Espresso, so we like a coffee shot every so often. So, and then what's one business tool you couldn't live without?
Bored?
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Love
love my AI. And
it.
there's always this saying that AI is going to replace our jobs. AI is not going to replace the jobs. The person who learns it is going to replace you. So jump on board. And I know people may not want to learn AI here or there, but it's here and now and it's staying.
And it just makes you more productive. You can do things faster.
Exactly. Exactly. What's one habit that helps you stay productive? Claude, obviously, but
Good. I do use another project management tool called Trello, which I really like. And I plan out, like I have to-do lists, like what am I going to do today? What am I going to do this week? What am I going to do this month? And I can just move them. So yeah, I like that as like an online to-do list.
no, definitely. I do like Trello. Having that board,
Yeah.
it can move things around. It's so much easier to use things. And what's one book or podcast do you recommend?
I love Marketing ATM. I don't know if you've heard of that one. It's a podcast. It's by two founders, Anita Saka, who is a co-founder of Hero Packaging, and then also Jess Rufus, who's the founder of Number Two. So they've got an amazing podcast all about marketing. So Marketing ATM.
Marketing ATM. Well, there you go, guys. Marketing ATM is what you want to go listen to. Is it a listen to a podcast or a book?
Oh, podcasts. Yeah, I'm in
Podcast.
the car a lot, so I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yep. I think when I found it when I was doing my train and everything, I don't like reading. So I was using audiobooks. It's just at least it's one way to read. So it's definitely one way to go. But thank you so much for joining us, Michelle. Is there, before we finish up, where can people find Young Wanderer and learn more about your products?
Yes, so social media, I'm at young underscore wanderer underscore. I mean, if you just search young wanderer, you'll find us pretty easy. We're youngwanderer.com.au. You're on Amazon, we're on Baby Bunting. So yeah, you can find us there.
Fantastic. And we're going to drop the links below this video as well so that people can click on your links and come find you with all our socials. So you'll be connected that way as well. So finally, don't forget, Michelle and the Young Wanderer team will be exhibiting at the Pregnancy, Baby and Children's Expo in Sydney on the 15th and 16th of August, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's where you'll be able to find her in person, feel the products, sample, like check them out and buy some products for your babies along the way. So thank you so much for joining us today, Michelle, for Brew Biz Chats. I hope you've enjoyed today's session. Be sure to follow Young Wanderer on social media and stay tuned for the more inspiring founders along the way. Until next time, take care.